Welcome back, detectives! This is Lifted Orion back at you with another video for Project Rise. Today we're going over the how-tos and history of a level 2 hunter, Chang. So, before we get into it, have some history. The hunter Chang is actually based on a deity in Chinese folklore, Heibai Chang. They are known as the Black and White Guards in common terms, but other regions refer to them as the first and second masters or uncles, or two masters Wu. In some cases, they're represented as a single entity rather than two, and are referred to as the Wu Chang Gui, literally ghost of impermanence. In folklore, the ghost of impermanence can appear as a fortune deity, the White Guard, who rewards people for doing good, or a malevolent deity, the Black Guard, who punishes those who commit evil. A couple sources suggested that their individual names actually reflect their duties, so Xi Bian, the White Guard, could be interpreted as those who make amends will be at peace, and Fan Wu Jiu, the Black Guard, may conversely say those who commit crimes will have no salvation. I just found that tidbit kinda neat. Also, please pardon me for my pronunciation. I'm not native to the language. All I speak is English. Anyway, on to story time. Before I start on this, I do want to leave a bit of a content and trigger warning. Tragedy and death are a large part of hunter stories, but this story in particular includes mention of suicide. If you want to skip over this segment, jump ahead to the timestamp mentioned below.
南台一别，长相忆。此去茫茫，不可及。
Now, the most popular story of Heibai Chang tells of the two guards working together as constables in a yamen. I assume this is similar to a police headquarters. They were escorting a convict who escaped during their journey, and they split up to find the escapee, agreeing to meet again later at a certain time under a bridge. The Black Guard made it on time, but the White Guard was delayed due to rain. Not wanting to break his promise, the former remained underneath the bridge to wait, but he drowned in the subsequent flood. His partner, saddened by the loss, committed suicide by hanging. After the fact, they were appointed as guardians of the underworld by the Jade Emperor, who is kind of like Zeus or Odin in Chinese lore, I'm guessing? Don't quote me on that. I don't really know. There are some other versions, including one where they aren't associated with each other before their deaths, but Identity V's version leans pretty close to the popular telling. I might do a separate video later going over their deductions in the game's version of the backstory, which does deviate some, but I've spent a little too long talking about the character and not really telling y'all how to play him, so let's switch gears, shall we? So, mechanics. No, not Tracy, I mean the way the character works. Chang's external trait is called Dual Soul, described as thus. The White and Black Guards had their souls imbued into an umbrella, and their souls can be switched by using Summon. The White Guard excels at patrol and pursuit, and moves swiftly, but has a slow stun recovery and attack speed. The Black Guard excels at melee combat, and has fast stun recovery and attack speed, but moves slowly. Lo and behold, at the beginning of a match, we have the ability Summon, as well as Infinite Nirvana, but we'll focus on Summon first. Summon allows you to switch between the guards, and at full presence, using Summon will automatically trigger Siphon Soul or Wavering Soul, depending on which you're switching to. Tap the skill to swap in place. I have no idea why you would do this, there's literally no reason. Hold down the button for a moment to charge the ability. On PC, you don't have to keep holding it. Release the button once you've started charging. You'll see a little glowing circle on the ground that moves away from you the longer you wait. I regret to say you can't see it through things. It kind of becomes guesswork from there. The longer you let it charge, though, the further you can go. Click your mouse when you want to throw the umbrella, and it will automatically teleport you to wherever the charge is aimed. If you change your mind while charging, you can press the escape key to cancel it. Keep in mind, the skill has a 30-second cooldown, so you have to wait about half a minute if you want to switch again. Infinite Nirvana works about the same until you throw the umbrella. You hold the T key, or whatever key you have set, to charge the ability and click to throw. Rather than immediately teleport to the umbrella's location, however, the umbrella will actually leave your hand to float above the target area, and it glows green, which you can see through walls and other objects. The nifty thing about this ability is that if a survivor is in or passes through the radius that the umbrella drops, that survivor will be highlighted. If left alone, the umbrella will stay in that spot for about 5 seconds. At any point during these 5 seconds, you may either teleport to the umbrella using the same key that you have set for summon, usually the 1 key, or you can recall the umbrella with the set key for infinite Nirvana, which the default is T. Similar to summon, it has a 30-second cooldown, but this only applies if you teleport to the umbrella, activating dual soul. Recalling the umbrella sets it to a 5-second cooldown instead, and this cooldown does remain if you just let it come back to you on its own. All of this, of course, is just at base presence starting the game. At this point, I start to realize why so many Wu Chang players carry peepers. It helps with the aim. So, it's partway through the match. If you have insolence, you probably have the presence for the second skill. If you don't have insolence, you probably hit enough survivors to up your presence enough. So either way, it brings us around to the ability that kind of defines each guard as separate. Yeah, one moves faster, the other attacks faster, but these skills, and I do mean that in plural, are more active differences. Presence 2 unlocks Siphon Soul and Wavering Soul. The former is for the white guard and the latter is for the black guard. And these are really what make people hate Wu Chang so much. So, Siphon Soul is that green glow you see. White guard will float in the air and gains a hell of a lot more speed, and there's a green glow from one of his hands, which makes it seem like he's trying to pull something. Yeah, that's your soul he's after. I really like the description of this, actually. Listen to this. The white guard's body moves with ease, and when it fully enters the spiritual realm, it won't be able to interact with anything for 5 seconds. However, its movement speed is greatly increased, and it will siphon the souls of nearby survivors. If it manages to fully siphon a survivor's soul, their soul will be lost. The condition lost soul is described as being bedazzled and unable to interact with the environment. So, no palettes, no windows, and if I understand this right, no skills. Surprisingly, not the worst thing that can happen. Useful info though, White Guard cannot cancel a siphon once it's started. However, he can be stunned by a pallet, which cancels it for you. Siphon Soul has a cooldown of 20 seconds. The Black Guard's ability is Wavering Soul. When the Black Guard rings the bell and casts Wavering Soul, all survivors that hear the ringing have to steel their resolve and calibrate with precision. Should they fail the calibration, they will become horrified for 60 seconds. If they fail another calibration during that time, their soul will waver. Not gonna lie, I've had a little trouble understanding the wording of this. I think the 60-second thing is a passive effect, and that's why you'll see a bell on your screen as a survivor, among all the other little passive effects. The way this is worded makes it sound like you have to calibrate twice, but I've never had to calibrate twice when dealing with Blackguard. Anyway, failing the calibration gives the condition Spiritless, which reverses your movement directions. Funny enough, Wavering Soul has a 15-second cooldown, which is 5 seconds less than Siphon Soul. Full Presence unlocks Advanced Summon, which automatically triggers either Siphon Soul or Wavering Soul upon teleporting to the umbrella, and voila. So, that's all there is to the character, right? Right? Wrong! Let me tell you about the Perfect Curse. None of the wikis tell you about this, y'all, and let me tell you, it is a feat. I've had this happen to me a total of once in all of my over 2,000 matches playing Identity V, and I commend the player to the ends of the earth for it. The Perfect Curse is really a layman's term. I don't actually know if there's an in-game name for it. I've not actually done it enough times to see if there's a little note if, like, secret achievements or whatever. But the Perfect Curse is an instance where both Siphon Soul and Wavering Soul affect a survivor at the same time. Like I said, it's a feat to achieve, and I think it's only possible at full presence. I actually had to ask a friend of mine to help me demonstrate. I can't even manage this against bots most of the time. They always succeed the calibrations for some reason. I tried to do it switching either way, but it seems like it only works when switching from black to white. So, cast Wavering Soul. As soon as you see the arrows indicating the Spiritless condition, switch to White Guard, who will cast Siphon when at full presence. The survivor will then be surrounded by talismans, like the ones we usually see around the umbrella following a summon. Their movement speed will be drastically decreased, as you can see. And there you have it, the Perfect Curse. Wu Chang is honestly one of my favorite hunters. I don't play Hunter a lot, but unless I specifically want to be cute and friendly, I tend to play Wu Chang. The story is really what got me, and then of course, the complementing yet opposing mechanics, just wonderfully done, in my opinion, especially considering that Wu Chang is one of the earlier hunters. I wonder what NetEase would do if they made an intro video for him now. Guess we'll never know. Well, thanks for watching. I hope this video was enlightening, if not helpful. This is Lifted Orion, signing off. Happy hunting!